Hello and welcome. So NotebookLM has a new feature in chat, and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but let me show you what it is, and then you can decide for yourself. So first of all, you just go to notebooklm.google.com, and then you get to this page, and it's just your basically My Notebooks, just like your home page. And then you either have to create a new notebook or you go into an existing notebook. I'll go into an existing one, and then you have to have at least one source added and then selected, and then the chat area will activate, so to speak. I'm pretty sure if you, yeah, like, so if you don't have a source selected, just to show you, like, I actually can't do anything in the chat area. Like, I'm clicking here to type something, but like I can't even get a cursor because you have to have something selected. And then once I do that, now there's a cursor. So you have to have a source added and selected. So anyway, the whole idea with this new, I don't know what they call it, but the new feature is if you ask something in chat that is not in your sources. The way it used to work is that it would just tell you it's not in your sources. I can't find it. Too bad, basically. Now it will still scan your sources, and if it's in your sources, it will tell you the answer and cite it, and everything is normal. If it's not in your sources, it will do a fast research and basically search the web and try to find your answer. And it'll either ask you if you wanted to do that, or it'll just do that and then tell you that I gave you an answer that's not in your sources. And that's part of why I'm not sure if I like it or not. The whole thing with NotebookLM is it's grounded in your sources. It doesn't go outside of your sources. Well, now it does go outside of your sources, and there are positives to that, but there could be negatives as well. I think if you aren't really paying close enough attention, you don't realize that it says like, "Hey, this wasn't in your sources." I think it's kind of blurring that line of like grounded in your sources and not. But again, just to show you, like the source that I have in here is the Art of Unix Programming book, and this I don't know when this book is from, but it's fairly old book. So I'm going to ask it a question that I know the answer is not in here. And I'm going to ask it the latest version of Linux Mint, which is just one of the distros of Linux. And Linux Mint did not exist when this book was written. So I'm confident that the latest version of Linux Mint will not be in this book. So now there we go, latest version of Linux Mint. It's thinking about it and it's looking and can already see it's researching websites. Like it's not in here. And so now it did a fast research and it put the answers over here. And if you look, let's start in chat, right? So the question's here and then I've scheduled a search for the latest version using the fast research mode on the web. As the provided sources do not contain this information. So you really have to pay attention to what the answers are telling you now because, like I said, this one didn't prompt me to see if I wanted to do it. This one just did it. It told me that it did it, which is good. But again, this can be pretty easy to miss. Check the sources, etc. So now if you look on the left panel, it will say that the fast research is completed. And then I can view it. This is kind of the summary here, but if I just click on view, it does the same thing that it would do if I just asked the question in fast research. And like, here's the question that it used, and then here are the answers. And I can do a couple things here. I can just take the answer. So it's like if I just wanted the version, discover details, blah, 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 and then this says Linux Mint 22.3. So I can take that as the latest version. Or I can actually take the results of the fast research, which is, in this case, 10 sources, and I can add one or more of them as sources to this notebook. And again, this is kind of why I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this because it's just like, this is just a pretty straightforward question. And now I have like 10 sources that I might add and I might not add. And if I'm not paying attention, I might import these. And I see how this can kind of throw people off pretty easily. But in this case, I don't actually want to add any more sources. I just wanted the answer to the question. So we'll just uncheck all these and then close the window. And then I can just delete on here and it'll say on here, I'm going to delete without importing. You won't be able to retrieve the discovered sources. And like, that's fine. I didn't want them anyway. So now they're gone. But I had to go through that whole exercise just to, get an answer to this question, where before it was just this answer is not in your sources. As far as I've seen, there's not a setting where I can like turn off the fast research for things that aren't in there. We'll see. Again, they change this stuff all the time, so this might be a little different in the future. I don't know. But now if you go into NotebookLM and you ask it something in chat that does not exist in your sources, it will either prompt you to ask if you wanted to do a fast research on the web, or it will, in this case, just do the fast research, like turn on the fast research mode and search for whatever you wanted, and then give you whichever sources back, usually 10, and then you can choose to add them or just choose to ignore them. But you have to go through a couple of extra steps just to make all that go away. So something to be aware of if you use NotebookLM and you use the chat feature in there. So try it out and see what you think, and we'll see you next time.